We shall next discuss yet another design. The name of the algorithm is insertion sort. When this follows incremental design, such a fundamental problem. The interesting thing is we have varied design strategies, and each one is giving different algorithms. So that makes this problem very interesting. So let's look at an input. With respect to that, let me explain what the algorithm is. So what it says is, at the end of first iteration, say first element is sorted. At the end of second iteration, first two elements are sorted. When I look at ith iteration, you see that to its left, I minus 1 elements are sorted. And I am trying to place ith element in its right position, so that at the end of ith iteration, first I elements are sorted. But the way we do this is very different from what we did as part of selection sort and bubble sort. So this is what we have. At the end of second iteration, you see that it is minus 4 and 1. Rest all the same. At the end of third iteration, you see that it is minus 4, 1, 6. Then after that, this comes. So it's like this. When this comes, you see that first three elements are sorted. So place minus 6 at the right position. So in general, A of first I minus 1 elements are sorted, place A of I at the right position. In the process of placing ith element at the right position, you may have to swap or move elements. That can happen. Now you are bringing minus 6, so I have to place minus 6 at the appropriate place. So what I do, I will place 6 over here, and 1 is moved to this place, and minus 4 is moved to this place. Now place minus 6 at its right place. So at the end of ith iteration or fourth iteration, you see that first 4 elements are sorted. Next we are bringing 10. When we bring 10, you see that when you compare 10 and 6, 10 is larger than this. Please note that these elements are sorted, which means this is sorted, and for this array, this is maximum. Now ith value is more than this. So if A of I is greater than or equal to maximum of A1 to I minus 1. Where do you see the maximum of A1 to I minus 1? At I minus 1th location, because first I minus 1 elements are sorted. Now you are bringing a value which is at least this, What does that tell you? We don't need to swap or move elements. If that's not the case, so which means one comparison, no swap. And otherwise, you may have to swap and then keep doing this until you hit the right place for ith element. Let's bring the next element. So we have minus 6, minus 4, 1, 6. 10, our next element is 5. Now this and this you compare, this is smaller than this, so which means one has to swap and look for correct place. So I place 10 over here, then 6 and 5, this one is max, so you place, now this place is empty, you place 6 over here. Now you compare 1 and 5, you see that this part is sorted. For this part, max is here, and this value is at least this value, so no swap, you place it here. You can stop the algorithm, rest of it they are placed as it is. So keep moving until you find the correct place for this. Next value is 100, so you can place 100 here itself because this value is at least this. Next let me bring 3. Now you see that I have to place 3 at the appropriate place. Now 3 is small, so swap, so I place 100 over here, then 10 over here, 10 and 3 you see 10 is max. Then you place 6, then you place 5. Now in place of 5 you place 3. The reason is when you compare this max and 3 is at least this max, so you can stop the algorithm and place 3 at that place. So at each iteration we scan the first half of the array which is already sorted and identify the right place where ith element can be placed. So what is our loop invariant? Something that is preserved iteration after iteration is this. A of 1 to I minus 1 elements are sorted, and A of I is placed at the right position in A of 1 to I minus 1. In the process we may have to shift and bring A of I to the right position. So that's precisely our algorithm. So to start with, first element is sorted and check whether the second element is greater than this. If that's the case, first 2 elements are sorted, otherwise you may have to swap. Now you see that first 2 elements are sorted, bring the third element, and this element, ith element is at least max of A of 1 to I minus 1, so no swap. Now next you bring minus 6, you see that minus 6 is smaller than max, so you will have to place 6 over here. Then again minus 6 is small, swap 1 over here, again minus 6 is small, place over here this. So it can happen that the new element can go all the way up to the first place, which means I may have to shift this, shift this, shift this. So that can happen. Or the new element is such that no swap is required. For example, 100, max of this is 10, I don't need to swap. So it may so happen that you may have to swap, and in the worst case you may have to compare it with each of them and followed by a swap. In the best case you have just one comparison and no swap at all. So let us keep these 2 scenarios and let's get into our usual part, which is the analysis. With that we can ultimately answer our question, is this taking little o of n square, or is this algorithm also taking theta of n square as good as selection sort or Babbitt sort. Let's trace with respect to one more example and then let's get into the design. Let's look at this input, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is our idea? Our idea is we know that first I minus 1 elements are sorted, and ith element we want to place them at any of this, is placed at the right position including I. So, which means ith element may be placed at I itself or one position among this. So ith element is placed in any of the locations. Let's look at first iteration. First iteration 1 is already sorted. Look at 2. So we compare 1 and 2. We see that 2 is more than this. So one comparison, no swap. So which means these two are sorted. Then we compare 2 and 3. We see that 3 is more than this. So no swap. Please note, we just make one comparison. Then again 4 and 3, no swap. So this is what we have. So at least one comparison we have to do, right? Something smaller than that is not possible. So here is an input where we take just one comparison and no swap, leave that part. So just one comparison at each stage. So we compare 1, we compare these two, and then we work with this part of the array. Then we compare with this, then we work with this part of the array. Correct? So which means if T of n denotes the number of comparisons to sort an array of size n, we incur one comparison and then we work with the rest. And number of comparisons in that array is given by T of n minus 1. So please note, this is our best case input. The input is already sorted. Best case input, so the input is already sorted. At each stage we make one comparison. One comparison, no swap. So this is what we get. So what is the solution to this recurrence? Solution to this recurrence is theta of n. So you see that when it takes just one comparison at each iteration it takes just one comparison, you see that it is theta of n. This can even be generalized. It's like instead of one comparison, you spend some constant number of comparisons. So some few elements are out of order. So T of n is equal to T of n minus 1 plus some constant. So this is some constant. Say instead of one comparison, maybe 2 comparisons, 3 comparisons, some 10 comparisons and so on. How do we write this? T of n is equal to T of n minus 1. You can write this way, or we also write like this, theta of 1. Which means at each iteration we spend constant number of comparisons before we get to the smaller subproblem. Correct? What is the solution to this? This is again theta of n. So what it says is algorithm incurs constant number of comparisons at each iteration. That's precisely what this is. Now there is an improvement. If you look at bubble sort or selection sort, in the best case it was taking theta of n square, but insertion sort says it takes theta of n time. That's a very good improvement. Now drastic reduction, linear time, and the other one is quadratic. Let's look at this input, say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the input is reverse sorted. and objective is to sort them in non-decreasing order. Now let's look at this. Now if you look at 5 and 4, it becomes 4, 5. Then if you look at 4, 5, 3, it becomes 3, 4, 5, which means one comparison with this, one comparison with this. Next we bring 2. So I compare it with this, then swap, then compare it with this, swap, and compare it with this, swap, then finally place over here. So you see that ith element is compared with all other elements to its left, which means it is compared with all of them. So 1 to I minus 1. If you look at nth element, we compare it with all of them. That's like n minus 1 comparisons, and we focus on the rest of the array. So the worst case scenario, we incur n minus 1 comparisons and we sort the rest of them. So this is our worst case input. The worst case, we see that ith element is compared with all other elements. In the process, swap is also happening. In the process, compare, swap, and it goes all the way up to the first element. And we saw that the solution to the recurrence is theta of n square. Now, for best case input is this, and worst case input is this. Now, for an arbitrary input, we don't know. If arbitrary input is falling into best case, then we need this. Otherwise, we need some value between theta of n to this. So best case is theta of n, worst case is theta of n square. So this is our best case input and this is our worst case input. So an arbitrary input takes some value between this and this. So that could be best case, that could be worst case, or it may take something like n log n, or it may take something little smaller than that, n log n, and it can take n root n. So it depends on the input. So for an arbitrary input, it takes some number of comparisons to sort an array of size n. For an arbitrary input, it varies from theta of n to theta of n square. But if you compare in best case sense, yes, we made a progress. Insertion sort is an algorithm. If the input is already sorted or very few elements are out of order, you see that time complexity of insertion sort is theta of n, whereas selection sort and bubble sort takes theta of n square. But if you look at the worst case input, for any input, if it is falling into worst case scenario, reverse sorted is one such example. And we see that it incurs theta of n square. If you look at it from worst case analysis, there is no significant improvement. Bubble, selection and insertion, they are all of same complexity. So again, it's a discovery. Let us explore further. Let's look for yet another design. Probably we may see some improvement. Our next discussion follows divide and conquer paradigm. Let's try solving a set of n numbers, say following divide and conquer paradigm. And as always, we will do the analysis and check whether there is an improvement or not. That's our next focus.